Solve the equation 6x squared plus 17x plus 12 equals to 0. We're going to solve by factoring. I look at each term, I ask myself, is there a GCF that can be factored out of all terms? And that is no. So I have a trinomial. We're going to use trial and error to factor. So before I set my binomials, let's go ahead and list the factors for the first term for 6x squared, 1x and 6x. We have 2x and 3x. And then we're going to list all of the factors for the last term. We have for 12, 1 and 12, 2 and 6. We have 3 and 4. Let's set up the binomials. And the sign that we're going to use to place inside each binomial, same sign, same positives. So let's check our work, what I call a mini check, before we place our factors inside each term for our binomial. So we're going to use 2x, 3x, 3 and 4. Let's multiply first with the first. 2x times 3. That gives us 6x. Last with the last, we have 3x times 4. That gives us 12x. Well, add those together, we have 18x. That's too high, so that's not going to work. So instead of 3 and 4, if you remember some examples before and also in class, if that doesn't work, we can also switch the factors around, and I like to use the last terms. Okay, you can switch the first terms, it doesn't matter, because we're still going to get the same binomial at the end. So that didn't work. Let's try this one. First with the first, 2x times 4, we have here 8x. Last with the last, 3x times 3, we have 9x. Add those together, we have 17x. So that's what we're going to use. Our first term, 2x and 3x. And then where would you place the 3? Where would you place the 4? The 3 would go in the first parenthesis, the 4 would go in the second. And the reason why the 3 would go in the first parenthesis, because when we multiply, if you check your work, the FOIL, the inner terms, 3x times 3 would give us the 9x. If you put 4 there, then that will give us the 12x, and that's not what we want. So now that we have the trinomial factored as two binomials is equal to 0, we're going to set each factor equal to 0 and solve. Here we go. First factor, 2x plus 3 equal to 0. We're going to subtract 3 to both sides. We have 2x is equal to negative 3. Divide by 2. Our first solution is x is equal to negative 3 over 2. Second equation, 3x plus 4 equals to 0. Subtract 4 to both sides. We have 3x is equal to negative 4. Divide by 3. We have x is equal to negative 4 thirds. So we have our solutions, negative 3 over 2 and negative 4 over 3.